All right, guys, let's go ahead and get going. It's Unit 2, Day 2. Unit 2, Day 2. It's 9:30:25. Handwriting is incredible. All right. So, as a reminder, that test that you guys just recently did is an example of my final exam. I will ask you for a random day throughout the semester. I'm considering actually having all 40 days of class as a possible thing that you could pick up. So be prepared for that. You might get Unit 2, Day 2. And if you do, on that final exam, you'll need to know that we covered Exodus chapter 3 through chapter 6, which might feel a little odd of the chapters when we get closer to it. But we're talking about the burning bush. We're talking about how God got his name. We're talking about Moses, the character. Moses, the character. Representing Israel's relationship with God. Representing Israel's relationship with, and I'm not going to say God, I'm going to say Yahweh here. Yeah, go ahead and just sign out on that tablet. All right, so Moses, the character we talked about last class. Moses is not just a guy, he's a character in this story. All right, so we need to understand Moses more as a representative character in this story than he is purely historical figure, right? We are building on him. We are mythologizing this character in some ways, and we're using him and shaping his personal history in a way that represents the nation of Israel. Right? So one of the things that it represents is, remember last class we talked about theology, the views of God. One of those is God, the Yahweh statements. Right? Yahweh being God's name, the actual title of God, right? The Lord God. So Yahweh being God's name, anytime it shows up, it shows that he is personal, he is connected to that person. Right. And if Moses is representing the nation, it shows that God is personal and connected to the nation. He cares about the ancient Israelites. So this is one of the things we're going to get today. We also get in this story, we get the idea that Moses, again representing Israel, goes through the story. He goes to, you're okay. He talks to the burning bush, and then eventually he argues back and forth with God until God eventually changes his mind. Or at least it reads like that, right? Moses and God argue back and forth. Moses keeps going, well, what about this? What about this? He doesn't want to do what God tells him to. God says, go speak on my behalf to Pharaoh. Moses says, nope, I'm not your guy. God says, nope, I want you to do it. So Moses says, well, no, I have a speech impediment, which we understand now. Tradition believes that he stutters, similar to me and Eliud sometimes, right? We stutter a little bit occasionally. So instead, God finally gets mad at him. He says, fine, just get your brother Aaron. He'll help you out. He'll be your prophet and your mouthpiece. So this is our basics of our story today. We're going to read that in a second. All right, here's the two big things that I want us to care about a lot. The first today is a term called multivocality. Multivocality. That's M, multivocality. I helped you, right? Multi, M-U-L-T-I, V-O-C-A-L-I-T-Y. Multivocality. V-O-C-A-L-I-T-Y. Multivocal. Many voices. Many voices. Many voices of the text. All right, the many voices of the text. Another word for this, if you want another word for this, because I'm sure you do, is polyphony. P-O-L-Y-P-H-O-N-Y. Means the same thing. All right, many voices. Right, there's a bunch of voices. Polyphony is more fun to say, but multivocality kind of feels smoother. Whatever. It's the many voices of the text. All right. What I mean by that is we saw in Genesis, sometimes stories are repeated there's a few traditions stacking on top of each other, because Exodus is not simply listed out facts and events. It is theologized events, right? The author has theologized, meaning reworked traditions to be about God and to tell us about God. So Exodus is reworked traditions that are reworked, stories that are reworked to tell us about God. All right, here's how one of the ways that we know this. Could somebody tell me Moses' father-in-law's name? It pops up a couple times. I need somebody to look up his father-in-law's name in Exodus chapter 2, verse 18. And somebody look up Exodus chapter 3, verse 1. Tell me what the father-in-law's name is. What? It's what? It's with an R? Yeah. Chapter 3, verse 18. Sure, chapter 2, verse 18 is what? No. Reuel. Ruel. All right. And is it the same thing in chapter 3, verse 1? Somebody? What does it say in chapter 3, verse 1? What's the father-in-law's name? Chapter 3, verse 1. Tell me. Jethro. All right. $50 to the first person that can find the verse that tells me why we changed names. Yeah. Tell me. No, for real. I promise you. I'll give you $50 if you can tell me which verse tells us why we changed from Raul to Jethro. There's not a verse. All right. So why is it? Why would it be? No, there's no verse that has that, so no one gets $50. All right. Why would it be then that we have two names show up? It's because there's a few different traditions, right? There's two traditions being edited together. These are probably different groups of people that the editors are taking these stories from. So the editors take two different groups of people's stories, and they're putting them together, and we can see this in Jethro or Raul, his name just changing randomly. I don't know, Reuel. I don't know how to pronounce that. So there's two traditions being melded together. We also get this. Also shown by Mount Oreb being called Sinai. All right, so we also get this, that Mount Horeb is sometimes called Sinai and sometimes it's called Horeb. So either way, then the mountain gets a name change several times. Yeah. So you can call it by either one. Either one shows up. All right, that's all I'm going to lecture about today. So I just wanted to point